You are tuned to Muscles and Mystery, and I'm your host, Kanaska Carter. This is the first episode of the show, and we will be talking about progressive overload, mysteries, the paranormal, and a low-calorie recipe. So in this segment, we're going to be talking about progressive overload. What is that? What does it look like for strength training, and how can this help you to improve your strength over time? So say you're trying to strengthen your deadlift. You could start with 100 pounds for 8 reps. Week 2, you go 105 pounds for 8 reps. Week 3, you go 110 pounds for 8 reps. Week 4, you go 120 for 8 reps. You can even try to PR in week 4, 5, 6, or 8, depending on what you want to do. But I find that this really helps me to improve my lifts, whether it be deadlift, squat, bench, or any other exercise that you're trying to improve on. If you go to the gym regularly, you probably already know about progressive overload. This is just a tip for anyone that is trying to improve their strength. So it's important to remember to not lift too much weight too soon. If you are feeling pain, you're probably going too heavy. Progressive overload should be challenging but not painful. So pay attention to your body if you feel like it needs to rest. If you just remain consistent with your workouts, over time you are going to get stronger. So just stick with it and don't give up. And remember that motivation is BS. Just stay disciplined and you're going to get to your goals. Let's dive into the eerie tale of the Amityville Horror. This infamous haunting revolves around the Lutz family, who claim to have experienced supernatural events in their new home, a large Dutch colonial house in Amityville, Long Island, New York. The house had a dark history. 13 months prior, Ronald DeFeo Jr. had murdered 6 members of his family in the same home. The Lutz family reported strange occurrences, including moving objects, unexplained noises, and ghostly apparitions after moving in on December 18, 1975. They fled the house just 28 days later, claiming the house was haunted. So what did they actually see? What is going on here? The Amityville Horror has become a legendary tale, inspiring numerous books and films. While skeptics question the validity of the Lutz family's claims, the story remains a chilling example of alleged paranormal activity. There's so many stories like this where people will move into a home and it becomes so overwhelming that they have to leave. This actually happened to me when I was 17, in between the ages of 16 and 17. I lived in a haunted house and we had to move because of the paranormal activity that we were all experiencing and poltergeist activity. So I 100% believe the claims of the Lutz family. Next up, we have a low-calorie protein recipe to help you stay on track with your weight loss goals. So we're about to go through that right now for you guys. Let's go! Welcome to the Muscles and Mystery Kitchen. Today we're making a delicious and healthy breakfast recipe that's perfect for fitness enthusiasts. Say hello to banana protein pancakes, made with bananas, egg whites, and protein powder. These pancakes are not only tasty, but also packed with protein and low in calories. For the ingredients, you will need 2 ripe bananas, a half a cup of egg whites, 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, and then optional for toppings, blueberries, walnuts, 0-calorie maple syrup, or honey. In a blender, combine the bananas, egg whites, and protein powder, or mix well in a bowl. Blend until smooth. Add the baking powder and salt to the blender and blend well until combined. Heat a non-stick pan over medium heat, or you can use 0-calorie spray. Use a 1/4 cup measuring cup and scoop the batter onto the pan. Cook for 2 to 3 minutes or until bubbles appear on the surface and the edges start to dry. Flip the pancakes and cook for another 1 to 2 minutes or until golden brown. Serve hot with your favorite toppings such as blueberries, walnuts, honey, or 0-calorie maple syrup. For the macro breakdown, this is approximately what it would come to. Calories, 180 to 200 per serving for 2 to 3 pancakes. You're looking at 25 to 30 grams of protein and 2 to 3 grams of fat, 20 to 25 grams of carbohydrates. You can choose to use different flavors of protein powder to change up the taste. Add some cinnamon or vanilla extract for extra flavor. You can top with fresh fruit or nuts for added texture and nutrition. And you can also experiment with different types of milk or yogurt to change up the consistency. This recipe is a great way to start your day with a boost of protein and complex carbohydrates. The bananas provide natural sweetness, while the egg whites and protein powder add a good dose of protein. Enjoy. Have you ever heard of the story of Betty and Barney Hill and their alien abduction encounter? Let's get into it. Today we're exploring one of the most famous cases in UFO history, the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. In 1961, this American couple claimed to have been abducted by aliens in New Hampshire, and their story would go on to captivate the nation. The events of September 19th to the 20th, 1961. Betty and Barney Hill were driving home from a vacation in Canada when they noticed a strange light in the sky. They thought it was a UFO, but as they got closer, they claimed to have been stopped by alien beings who took them aboard their spaceship. The Hills described the aliens as short, with large eyes and grayish skin. They were subjected to medical experiments and were eventually returned to their car with no memory of the event. The star map. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Hill abduction is the star map that Betty Hill drew under hypnosis. She claimed that the aliens showed her a map of their home star system, which included several stars and planets. The map was later analyzed by astronomers who claimed that it matched the layout of the Zeta Reticuli star system. The hypnosis sessions. The Hills underwent hypnosis sessions with a psychiatrist named Dr. Benjamin Simon, who helped them recall the events of the abduction. The sessions were tape recorded and later transcribed, providing a detailed account of the alleged abduction. The impact and the legacy. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction case was a game changer in the world of ufology. It was one of the first reported cases of alien abduction, and it paved the way for future research and investigation. The case has been extensively studied and debated, with some dismissing it as a hoax or a product of the Hills' imagination. However, the case remains one of the most well-documented and intriguing in UFO history. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction case is a fascinating example of the mysteries that surround alien encounters. Whether you believe it's fact or fiction, the case remains a captivating story that continues to inspire and intrigue us to this day. I've personally had close encounters with aliens on multiple occasions. A small gray alien, a tall gray alien, and also a tall gray alien hybrid in disguise. So I 100% believe this story is true. There's so many countless cases of people being abducted by these gray beings throughout history. Thank you all for tuning in to the first episode of Muscles and Mystery. I'm your host, Kanaska Carter. This is my co-host, Artemis. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Stay spooky and get your butt in the gym. Until next time.